Let's do a DVD and Blu-ray update. Ahoy hoy everybody, and welcome to a DVD and Blu-ray update. Basically my pile of what I've watched since the last one of these I did has got big, so I need to clear it. I will almost certainly be doing this over 2 videos. It is the 26th of June, so this is what I've watched in between the last video and then. Nearly all Blu-ray, couple of DVDs. It's a bit of a mixture. These aren't all necessarily ones I've watched very recently, but first up is what I watched last night, and that is Midsummer. I loved this. This is a 5-star film for me. Really enjoyed it. Can't go into too much details without spoiling it, but it is a sort of folk horror film. Think Wicker Man, that sort of style. Florence Pugh plays Danny, whose life is shattered right at the start of the film, but I won't even go any further than that. She goes with her boyfriend and his friends to stay at one of the friends' village in Sweden. I should know this, as I watched it last night. I'm sure it's Sweden. Yes, it's Sweden, isn't it? Yes, Swedish village, yes. And it's this remote Swedish village where they do particular rituals at certain times of year, and I'm not going to say any more. I watched the director's cut, which is 170 minutes long. It felt like a long film, but it didn't feel like it was nearly 3 hours long. I was gripped. Yeah, I'd say fantastic film, 5 stars for me. This is John Hughes' 16 Candles, an Arrow video release. Molly Ringwald, on her 16th birthday, which happens to coincide with the wedding of her sister, or which is the following day, I think, or day or two after. Her family come, grandparents, what have you, come and stay in the house, etc. They all forget it was her birthday. On top of that, she's crushing on a guy who's the school jock, hero type guy who's dating with head cheerleader, etc. It's a comedy, it's funny, some of it's not entirely PC, you wouldn't get away with nowadays, but I enjoyed it a lot. Loads of extras on here as well. Very good film. Another Arrow release. This is the special edition box set of RoboCop. I had RoboCop on VHS, I have it on DVD, I have a Blu-ray box set of all the RoboCop films, but I couldn't resist this when they announced it. Nice big thick box. Obviously the Blu-ray itself. Double-sided poster of the original artwork. And the new artwork, which apparently is based on not an action figure, but one of these premium statuette things, that cost a couple of £100, rather than actually any image from a film. Really nice big booklet as well, all about it. And then loads of extras on here. Fair bit that I already had, but lots of newly filmed extras as well. But yeah, it's just such a lovely package of a wonderful film. We have Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. So this was the second Fantastic Beasts film. Saw this in the cinema when it came out. I enjoyed it, but nowhere near as much as the first one. On rewatching it, I'll pretty much say the same. It's a lot darker. The magic doesn't feel as magical because it's so dark, if you see what I mean. But it has some really nice moments in it, and the cast are excellent. And it's well worth watching, especially if you're a fan of the Wizarding World. Lego Movie, the second part. Or Lego Movie 2, the second part. I loved the first Lego Movie. Wondered how they were going to do it, given the ending of the first one, but they do it nicely. Not as good as the first though, but still a lot of fun. We have the 8th and final season of Game of Thrones. So I have all the previous seasons, obviously on Blu-ray. That is initially how I started watching the series. I had to wait till the Blu-rays came out to see it before I started downloading it illegally. Obviously there's a lot of controversy about this series. I can sort of see why. However, I think people are overreacting. I don't think it was as bad. It did feel a bit rushed. I would definitely agree with that. But by and large, I think it sort of all ended up where it should. And there were some fantastic moments. So I still enjoyed it a lot. What I'm basically saying. What this does contain is the feature-length Last Watch documentary, which is just a documentary all about the making of the final season. It's a couple of hours long, I think, at least. But that was fascinating. Really enjoyed that. It focused a lot on the behind-the-scenes people and the extras. One extra in particular who was a character. And it was nice, you know, there's some nice moments with him and particularly with Kit Harington, showing how much Kit appreciated the extras and the stuntmen and what have you. But yeah, there are lots of really nice bits in that documentary. This is Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. I enjoyed the first Maleficent film a lot. This one lost me a bit. Performances, again, excellent. But it just, about halfway through, when she discovers all the other, whatever she is, I can't remember if it says, no it doesn't, that whole section where she discovers the other people of her kind, let me put it that way, I sort of got lost in about all that lot. It wasn't interesting at all, and it's just endless shots of her flying around looking at things, and yeah, wasn't pleased with that bit, but then it picked up at the end. But it's not as good as the first one. Speaking of not as good as the first one, this is Westworld Series 2, or Season 2, The Door. Loved the first season of Westworld. Didn't love this. It got very complicated and confusing. So many flashbacks and forwards and sideways, and yeah, it didn't grip me. Just ended up thinking, what the hell's going on? Yeah, it lacked a lot. Everybody, nothing, can't fault the acting, but I believe it sort of picks up again season 3, so looking forward to watching that when I get it. X-Men Dark Phoenix. There seems to be an endless pile of not as good as stuff that went before it. Nice to slip on this. Yeah. Again, pretty much the criticism of this film is deserved. It's not terrible, but compared to some of the other X-Men films, including Days of Future Past with this lot, it's, again, lacks a certain something. Red Dwarf, The Promised Land. No. I love this. This was magnificent. The Dave series of Red Dwarf I've enjoyed, but nowhere near as much as the BBC ones. Particularly the first 6 series. But this took me right back. Although it is sort of, more of the Dave style, if you like. It's just something about it that made me feel, I think, the extra time and effort that went into it. It just felt like proper Red Dwarf to me. And the way it linked to the early series with the cat people and what have you. Yeah, absolutely loved that. Excellent. This is stuck. Mission Impossible Fallout, the latest of the Mission Impossible films. Fantastic. I love the Mission Impossible films. I've loved them all. Maybe number 2, not so much. Is that the Ang Lee one? I think so, wasn't it? Yeah, maybe not that one quite so much. Well, it's okay. But I know lots of people don't like the first one much, but I'm a Brian De Palma fan. I love the first one. I do find I can never remember much about them. So at the start of each one, it can get a bit confusing. So this one, where it follows on quite closely from the previous one, whichever one that was, Ghost Protocol, was it? See, I always forget what the subtitles are on them as well. So although, as I say, it follows on quite closely from that, it took me a while to sort of try and remember what did happen in the last one and who these people were. But that's that's more my fault than the film's fault. But once you sort of get past that anyway, fantastic film. Yeah, very, very good. Aquaman. Sticker coming off. I enjoyed decent amounts. It's not wonderful. It takes a while to get going, and being underwater, some of it can be quite slow, but there's enough really good bits in there, and I like Jason Momoa. But to keep it interesting, original Mary Poppins. What can I say? It's Mary Poppins' classic. I had it already on DVD, but I was buying Mary Poppins 2, or Mary Poppins Returns, which I think is in the other pile. So I thought, I might as well get this at the same time. I think it was on, they were both on offer in H&B and 2 for however much. So I picked them up together. I mean, I love Mary Poppins. It's a faultless film, if you ask me. Loads of extras on here as well. This is Mother, filmed by Darren Aronofsky, he says. Yes. Starring Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem and Ed Harris and Michelle Pfeiffer. This was amazing. Just draws you in. Starts off slowly. Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem live together in this remote house where he writes. He's a writer, and she sort of tends to his needs and what have you. Ed Harris turns up, and he's lost, or he's something like that, and turns out he's seriously unwell anyway, but they offer him a bed for the night, or at least Javier Bardem does, much to Jen's annoyance, but she looks after him, but doesn't feel great about it because she has mental health issues anyway. Then the next day, his wife, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, turns up, and they start sort of taking over, and it just builds and builds and builds, and things happen, and it just escalates and escalates, and it's amazing, basically. I can't really spoil it, but fantastic performances all round, but especially by Jennifer Lawrence. But yeah, won't be to everybody's taste, but if you don't mind a bit of strange, then yeah, great film. This is the Nutcracker and the Nutcracker and the Four Realms, Disney film, which I basically got because Keira Knightley's in it. This was better than I thought it was going to be. So Mackenzie Foy is an orphaned, no, not orphaned, because her dad's alive, but her mother's dead, and she leaves presents for her 3 children, and one of Mackenzie Foy gets a key, not physically, no, a little puzzle box, isn't it? Yeah. Which basically leads her, anyway, into the realm of the Nutcracker suite. The 4 realms. I'm not describing this very well, but that's because it's a bit complicated. What does it say on here? Not a lot. That doesn't help. But basically, she has to save the 4 realms from an evil force. But who is the evil force is the question. But yeah, very well done. Very good looking film. Great performances. I say better than I thought it would be. Finally, for this part, we have Toy Story 4. Love the Toy Story films. Was watching this, enjoying it. And I thought, oh, you know, it's a good film. It's really enjoyable, but it's not hitting me emotionally like they usually do. Then the last few minutes, I bawled my eyes out. But yeah, enjoyed that a lot. Nice to have Bo back. The new sort of supporting characters are all good. Yeah, very, very good film. Not quite as good as the first 2, 3, I need to rewatch. I enjoyed it a lot, but I know lots of people really sing its praises, so I do need to watch that again at some point to see why. But yeah, Sporky is obviously a magnificent character. Yeah, enjoyed a lot. Okay, that'll do for this half. I've got sort of same again, but I will show sometime soon. Very soon, probably. Thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks. Bye.